Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from Dreamhack Masters Fall 2020. The best of the best from North America. Duking it out in a round-robin style showdown. Everybody gets a shot at everyone else. But who will survive this circular firing squad? And who will not? You should recognize both of these players, but first, needs no introduction, but otherwise I wouldn't have a job in the top left. From the Adepted clan, currently on team. Why are you using that tag, Scarlett? Currently on Brave Star Gaming. Oh, yeah, by the way, Scarlett, for those who cannot read. And in the bottom right, the hero of America. One of the most exciting players. The man you can't help but root for. It is Mcanning. I'm not biased. Protoss versus Zerg right now is... Everyone has strong opinions, besides Terrans. Well, Terrans have strong opinions, just not so much on PvZ. Oh, of course. Now, one of the most important things... Oh my god, did Scarlett come prepared? Oh, what a play. Okay, so Mcanning is, well known as the spray master of StarCraft, the Banksy, a street artist, ready to leave his mark. And recently, with patch 5.0 and SC2, you now have sprays on a 15-second cooldown, and you start with 3. It used to be just 1, but this has allowed Mcanning a great... well, StarCraft, I've heard, is like a blank canvas. And every map just unsprayed. But Mcanning likes to leave his mark via his probe. Now, I don't know if Scarlett knows this, as she came prepared with the counter spray here. Mcanning with the GLHF Colossus, of course, a classic, but the brick wall. But one of the most important changes in the patch, we're not talking about Void Rays, who cares about those? You can spray with your Overlords. Okay? Overlords have the same spray cooldown. It is a global cooldown, but as workers do. No other race has another unit that can spray, but think about it. An Overlord is always in the opponent's base. Think of the opportunities. I don't think Scarlett has realized that as of yet. Can't believe she's missed this critical oversight. But we'll have an opportunity to contemplate the life of that Overlord as the first Phoenix comes out. Mcanning, and I'm sure, well, he said it, and many people will say it. Not many people. He says it himself. That's what matters. He's a streamer first. He's a player second. But he is, and very respectably, and making me a little jealous, a very capable player, especially in Protoss versus Zerg. I'd say that is probably his best. Especially in the mid to late game, between controlling multiple flavors of Protoss splash damage and managing Sky Toss units. He can punch above his weight, and his weight class is quite the heavyweight. Mostly emotionally and inspirationally, not so much physically, but maybe physically as well. A lair. It looks like game 1 will not have any adepting, and it will not have any sort of roach all in or shenanigans. This looks ridiculous. Okay, like, you know what? Now that both players, this is too much. It's like a tattoo for the creep. There are too many sprays. I get it. Okay, it's fun, but it's so distracting. Wow, is that a fleet beacon? Mcanning. Giving the people what they want. The people cry out. and they say mothership. And Mcanning says, I'll give you your mothership. Well, okay, I'm optimistic, but just taking a third, A, S, D, F, what are we waiting for? Nothing. This is a replay. Let's go. I don't know why I'm still going with this. I'm hoping that I end on something clever, but we're here. +1 air weapons. Transferring to the third. Just a casual carrier. This is really going to invalidate most of every angry coach, every guide, every time I criticize a lower level player and say you can't just go carriers, like pretty much like that. Mcanning says, believe in yourself, and that belief will carry you anywhere, especially if it formerly had graviton catapult. No fourth. The oracles burn right through it. They do spell damage, so the armor of buildings, which they start with 1 base armor, doesn't affect it. Oracle's surprisingly good. Not necessarily surprisingly, but startlingly good at taking out buildings. It's just that's not their usual best energy usage. We got a lurker den on the way. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Could we... I guess there hasn't been too much action as of... Oh, they're back! You're not gonna get it twice. Okay. Brenda and her knitting crew, as well as the Hydras behind. A Phoenix scouting. Looks like we have a non-aggression pact. And by that I mean 2 adept shaded and killed 3 drones. But that was just an information gathering mission. It really is pretty close to a no-rush 10-minute game right here. A little bit of skirmishing, the adepts are there, the oracles, but overall, it looks like they're, well, I'm surprised there's not an infestation pit yet. Scarlett, I'm surprised there's not an infestation pit yet, because the lurker upgrades are incredibly good. Though, I'm not sure if Scarlett quite realizes what she's dealing with right now. A Hydra timing is angling for the 4th. An Adept scouts it. Mcanning will know this is coming. How many carriers? 4 carriers, which is a precarious number. 4 carriers is just enough to not have a crit. I'd say about half a dozen. 6 carriers is a critical mass. Hydras are no longer going to cut it. Could we see Microbial Shroud as a counter? The interceptors are just killed off. Scarlett makes the correct calculation. Oh. There's not even Hydra speed yet, but the group spawns are helping. The interceptor count is brought low. Only 25 left. Plenty of Hydras. 182 to 138 supply. The Cyber Core itself, halfway through +2 air weapons, denied. But now 6 carriers are out. The shield battery overcharge, not going to help with the interceptors, but here come the oracles. 6 carriers starting to grind through the Hydras. Interceptor count in single digits. Whatever gateway units can be warped in are being warped in. They have no upgrades. The carriers rebuilding interceptors at breakneck speed, which is exactly the same speed as they were before. Trying to come to the low ground. Scarlett's Hydra count is at 30. Against the carriers, it's really the interceptor count that is the issue. There's a stasis ward that needs to save this game. Scarlett's at 85 drones. This game is about to end unless that stasis doesn't get as many Hydras as Mcanning really would have wanted. The interceptor build time, you can't chrono boost interceptors. You gotta be careful. The probes are pulled. The Oracle trying to get involved as best it can. The interceptors themselves dying. It looks like Scarlett has found the timing to seesaw this back into her favor. And by back, I mean it never really went anywhere. It's just the timing was too strong. You can't just go carriers! My point stands. Scarlett agrees. That's my takeaway. You gotta have a little bit of... You gotta lead into it. Okay, you got to get in the mood for carriers. You can't just go straight into carriers. It's jarring. It's like you get whiplash. If maybe you throw a few adepts in. I know Scarlett's a big fan of those. Maybe you even go with like a Phoenix play or something. But just going straight into the most expensive Protoss unit is ambitious at best. I think Mcanning hopefully learned his lesson. Or maybe he wants to die on a hill of principle. We will see. Thankfully, you know, I'm a little happy. I'm never happy to see Mcanning lose, even against Scarlett. But I'm a little happy to see that you can't just sit back and go carriers. With nothing else happening and having it work. Like, if that was the case, if in StarCraft you could just rush a tier 3 unit at a high level, like a top tier unit, and skip the rest of the tech tree, what are we even doing here? So, Scarlett finding the timing and pretty decisively shutting it down. I expect a little bit of maybe some shade thrown at Scarlett here. I don't know if Mcanning's a big fan of the Slim Shady build with the 4-gate robotics facility, adept warp shenanigans. Oh, coming in with the triple spray combo. Throwing out the wide waypoint, but this is for spray purposes only. With a little bit of mineral micro. Scarlett just walling her own mineral line. So a lot of players, Mcanning with the real pro gamer build here. A lot of players will try to deny very slightly the drone mining by doing the stop command mining micro, which denies dozens of minerals, maybe a dozen if you do it right. But Mcanning just decides to look like he's doing it instead of actually doing it for the most part, which is almost as good. Another spray. This is the real battle for North America. Who will be the final Vandal? No warp gate research. Scarlett will see that. That means Mcanning's likely saving gas for a Stargate. It's a tell, but Mcanning is a very... While he might be a finesse-oriented, he's usually a pretty direct player. I don't see him oftentimes trying to hide his sneaky tech tree. Instead, it's just, I'm taking a Stargate, and I'm probably going to try to get a third. Third bases are relatively rare, especially early on in Protoss versus Zerg nowadays. A lot of Protoss feeling obligated to get some sort of 2-base damage done, or at least kind of dictate the pace of the game before... feeling more comfortable to take a third. A Void Ray. Now, faster, cheaper, quicker to build and to fly. But still does the same amount of damage and still costs 4 supply. So we'll see. Does Mcanning continue down the road and really redefine the legacy of the Voids? Or is this just a more dangerous Phoenix? Annihilation commencing. The Void Ray is some of the most hardcore. All of the Protoss lines that are in English are pretty hardcore, like way over the top. But the Void Ray has some of the, like the Phoenix on the wings of justice. It's like, okay, alright. Chill. Like... That's a Twilight Council. That's 3 more gates. Does anyone else smell that? Let me get the Mcanning perspective. with plenty of shade. Resonating glaives on the way. A lair. There's no Roach Warren. This is just going to be a flat-out Adept Shade on the other side. No Robo. Taking a third. It's not even an all-in. It's just a follow-up. Aspire's on the way, yeah. And +1 air. I don't know if this is for show. Because Scarlett will see this and actually notice the Cybercore upgrading. Decides to cancel it. Goes with the Robo anyways. I'm not sure what info's here. But one shade comes out, and then here comes some more. Scarlett realizes, uh-oh, here we go. There's no Roach Warren. This is gonna do a lot of damage. Okay, well, there are 7 queens. The shades are heading back across. Remember, no Roach Warren, no Baneling Nest. Even if the Adepts don't get much economic damage, the amount of time Scarlett has to spend dealing with this gives Mcanning a huge window. Just moving on in with those shaded Adepts. There's not much in the main. The drones left undefended. The queens were pulled off. Already 5-6 drones down, and that means Mcanning's even. Soon, Mcanning's going to be ahead. The Spire is scouted as well, giving every opportunity to start Phoenixes. Shades come through. Wall themselves off. Good luck, Zerglings, with 0 upgrades, with 0 chance to kill these devastating Adepts. The Queens would try to close the distance, but the Adepts shade right out. But wait, there's more! Looks like Scarlett's getting adepted right now. As 12 drones go down. The third base is still under attack. Scarlett scrambling. There are 9 Mutalisks on the way. Down to 49 drones. Still targeting. Mcanning bringing the whole gang together. Some transfuses come out, but 21, 22, 20... I don't know. 22. We're target fire a little, Mcanning. Get it together. I mean, 23 drones is still a pretty productive and comfortable number to pick up. It's 63 to 43 workers. There are 11 mutas against just 2 Phoenixes. I'm not sure if Mcanning... He didn't have the batteries quite in time here, which means the mutas do have a little opportunity to do some counter damage. Just go straight for the cannon, or go for the probes themselves, and try to drag this out. I think everyone in this game and otherwise will agree that in an even money game, Scarlett is the favored player. As Scarlett, just your straight up... like, you think of Scarlett, you think of too many drones, and that might be the reason she lost 63... Not 63, she lost 23 and had well over 60 there. But she's drawn it a little closer to even. The mutas obviously having a tough time. But the way Mcanning set himself up and had to respond to the Mutalisk means there wasn't much of a follow-up answer. There's not going to be the killing blow anytime soon. On either side, Scarlett, part of the reason she lost that many drones because she built so goddamn many in the first place. Scarlett's character perk is that she just has 10 more drones than you would expect at that time. But she'll also lose 10 more for no discernible reason. Though, that might be the reason. Mcanning, on the other hand, always gets at least 3 kills with each disruptor more than average. Whatever the average might be. I don't know. Well, we will see. I think this is actually going to be Colossus to start. Probably, especially on seeing the Hydras. But then, we may see some disruptors mixed in after a few Colossi. Scarlett's still digging herself out of the damage done earlier. The mutas helped a little. They bought time and they forced out the Phoenixes. Now Hydras are going to keep her safe against any sort of small attacks, and Mcanning, heavy on the tech here, opting for Colossi, extended thermal lance. Gonna find himself with a whole lot of tech, but just not the meat with it in order to win the game. So a lot of damage from the Adepts. It was a strong choice. But when you're going for a third instead of making it an all-in, you're just going to end up in this scenario where you can't kill the Protoss. I mean, you can't kill the Zerg. Yeah, I guess you could kill the Protoss. That would be depressing. But already Disruptor's on the way. Yeah, you can't kill the Zerg, but you can find a good place economically. You can get all your tech. You can fill in all the gaps that you usually don't have an opportunity to do so. Lurkers finishing up. Hive tech, 3/4 of the way done. Mcanning adding on the rest. Templar Archives. We got Colossi. We got Extended Thermal Lance coming up. The incomes now tilting back towards Scarlett after a significant advantage for Mcanning for obvious reasons. The army size about equal. And so far... Oh, we're going to the ultra late game, aren't we? It's the caster thing. It's like, who's going to win the game? You got to call it early so that way you look smart. At this point, I will say, Mcanning... his window of advantage to actually win the game outright is essentially over. The mutas, now that we see where we end up here, have closed it. So he's going to be building, and wow, we're going to be brawling it out. Lurker Hydra Muta with a whole lot of queens and creep up against a well-kitted out robotics facility-based Disruptor Blink Stalker Colossus army. So that means Mcanning's actually going to be a little more mobile on the map, even against those lurkers. He's going to have the ability to dictate the fights, ideally. Well, he wants to dictate the fights, because you do not want to be using disruptors defensively. You get one shot, and then they're already on your nexus. The best way to use disruptors, well, the best defense is a good offense. The more cooldowns you get on those Purification Novas, the better chances for Mama to finish warping in. She takes a while, she said that she would be there at 7. What she really meant is she's lucky to be in the car pulling out of the driveway at 7. But even with a chrono boost, she'll be here eventually. And that will complete the last piece of the Protoss tech puzzle. There's not much else left to get besides basic upgrades now. There's Storm. There's most of the Twilight... Are there all the Twilight Council upgrades? The whole council has gathered. It has fully upgraded. Mothership, +1 air, disruptors, adrenal glands, fungal pathogen glands thing. You get a fungal when you start. +2 air, Hydra speed, here's an army, here we go, blinks forward, disruptor shot, exploratory nova, here come the lurkers. We have adaptive talents, the lurker speed, and where's the range? Where's the range upgrade? Scarlett, the range upgrade allows you to outrange Colossi, otherwise you have less range than extended Colossi. It's one less or one more. But here come the lurkers to defend the main. Mcanning darting in, clearing the creep. There's a couple more charge lots. Scarlett spread thin. Most of the army isn't where it needs to be. The lurkers aren't here with it. Disruptor shot. Huge hit. Center blast. Force field. Zoning out. Nothing to break them. Down goes the base. Oh, I spoke a little too soon. There's not enough damage. He doesn't want to risk getting caught. But Mcanning hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. 5 bases! All at the same time. 23 drones, and then some. More than before. The spawning pool, the outlying bases, hitting the north, chased back, fadeaway shot, breaks the Hydra. Scarlett, broken, down 60 supply, the 5-pronged attack. Scarlett reeling right now, trying to hold on. She didn't defend on any front. She lost everything. The only base that held was the center at the 4th, but that means everything else crumbled around the edges. The spire is falling. The lurker den, 44 drones. Scarlett is still somehow at 140 supply, which is a god. How do you lose 44 drones and be ahead on drones? How does that happen? Scarlett, in a nutshell. How is that possible? How do you have the larva? How is Scarlett at even drones? So, Mcanning with a... did you know this game is played with 1 player and not 5? Oh, Mama's home. And she's impressed. She said, okay, alright, I'll come inside. And now we'll have... I'm not waiting out here anymore. I want to participate. Well, now we can get serious. Those phoenixes have full energy, so do the vipers. The phoenixes intimidating those rocks. The rocks, not the real enemy. But inspired on the wings of calm down. Alright. Wait, is Mcanning gonna do a recall play? I thought he was moving the mothership out. Oh, well, this is freeing up supply. Actually, though, stalkers and zealots. Like, this game is incredible for On one hand, this game is incredible because Mcanning did such a ridiculously well-coordinated, nearly impossible to hold, 5-pronged attack. And he did what so many Protoss struggle with. He kept the actual important parts of his army alive. It might seem simple, but how many times have you seen someone try to multi-prong attack, and then they just lose 4 disruptors to bad pathing? Too much, is my answer. Scarlett, on the other hand, loses 44... She loses more drones than your average gold leaguer makes the entire game, and is still ahead on workers. How does that happen? Well, anyways, Mama's home. You can't pull her into the Hydras, not anymore. Or wait, is it you can't neural parasite? I forget which one it is. Well, we'll find out soon. But Mcanning says, you know what? That's a 0 out of 5 on Yelp. Here's some feedback for you, Vipers. Did not enjoy. Would not get abducted again. Brings the Templar and lays it down. Oh, are those Blink DTs? Of course they are. Every upgrade in the book, and even some of those that aren't written down. The double shot, triple kill. Into the lurkers. A warp prism shut down in the main. A handful of mutas. Small groups of units being used to great effect by both sides. But Mcanning taking the initiative. And when you have this sort of cooldown, splash damage based army composition, that this is my town. This ramp between the spore crawlers. My town. Oh my. Scarlett took a moment to consider the lives of her drones and then decided she didn't care about them anyways. And finally, an overseer. Ten corruptors on the way. +3 flyer attack. Scarlett inspired. I will never understand this. When you lose all of your tech in your main, and then you rebuild it in your main again, feels like maybe not the most important base or defendable base. It's a really hard habit to break, especially like in the middle of a game. She does have a lot more anti-air now. Mcanning has slowly worked into about as expensive of an army composition as you can build. Trying to free up supply with the stalkers, finding more drone kills, rotating around towards the side. Mcanning with money in the bank right now. Disruptor yanked in and sliced down. Get over here! Thank you, says the mothership with a couple time warps. Another yank. More carriers. But nothing's actually being hit. The time warp helping so much! And somehow Mcanning gets the mothership out. These are changelings. These are not the spires in the main. If only somebody could have recommended maybe putting your tech buildings somewhere else. Meanwhile, the main army. Here comes the mothership. 3rd time's the charm. Finally, she goes down, but not before wreaking havoc. Both spires die. Mcanning takes it with a full-fledged, full-map assault multiple times, from stooping to the Adepts, and then climbing the entirety of the tech tree. Between Thermal Lance, Storm, Warp Gate, Charge, Blink, +3, +1, +1, +1, +2, wait, Glaives, and DT Blink, Mcanning brings it even. And before we get into the final match in this best of 3, make sure to smash that like button, like Mcanning's disruptors into lurkers. Make sure to subscribe to the idea that you can just go carriers and also this channel. Make sure to ring the bell, like every time the alert goes off and a bunch of Adepts are suddenly in your mineral line. Will Mcanning have what it takes to bring down probably the best player in the history of North America overall since the beginning of StarCraft 2? Or will Scarlett reassert in Game 3? Okay, 16 hatch. Mcanning not trying any early shenanigans in any of these games. No cannon rush, no attempt at a hatch block. Just good, clean Stargate Penta prong attacks. It's a fake! Will Scarlett believe it? You know better than that. She knows better than that. One drone means that I have to acknowledge you built a pylon, but I don't believe you. Mcanning gave it a shot, but not much commitment there. Will it be another Stargate? We're on Eternal Empire. This is the macro map. I can get 3 bases and then a 4th with a rich Vespene geyser. If every game so far Mcanning has comfortably, even if unsuccessfully in Game 1, gone into a Stargate composition, what will this game hold? No Warp Gate. 1 Stargate. Okay. What will it be? We've seen the Phoenix first. We've seen the Void Ray first. But the true revelation, I think this game, will be the Oracle first. And I'm basing this entirely off the position of the Stargate. Just slightly further back to, and with the Stalker to zone out, trying to hide an Oracle. Let's see if I'm smart. I'm not. Mcanning, nothing to hide. And nothing he fears. But fear itself. Opting for the Void Ray. Take out that first Ovi. This time, interesting. Scarlett, no counter sprays. Scarlett, all business. Mcanning still laying down the Quadra spray. And here's the real thing. Like, now that it's only on a 15-second cooldown, there's no removing it. You can, like, try to spray over it, but it's such a mind game. Before it was just 1 and you could kind of ignore it. But now you could just lay down 3 or 4 just in their base. is hard to miss and a little tilting, I would say, especially if you just lost a game like the last one to adepts and then extra flavor. Like, You don't want to be thinking about it, but I like that that exists, though. No one else does it. Mcanning is the only player that I've seen at any high level to reliably use those sprays. Oracle follows up the Void Ray. A third Nexus? No fear! The Void Ray will protect it. Or at least confident the Void Ray will protect it. As there's nothing that's really going to challenge it early. I like MK... Oh, there's no Spore! There's no Spore Crawler. The Oracle just gets in. Gonna get 4 kills. Not as many as I thought. But the Queen Brad... Ah, where are you going? Spread the creep! Oh, there's no Spore! Who's in charge of this? Karen? What do you mean you bought new knitting needles? I thought we got nerfed. No, but these ones are really cool and they have essential oils. What? You spent my minerals? Scarlett with roach speed on the way. Mcanning with all of the tech and none of the gates. He right now has 2 gates, adding 2 more. A Twilight charge +1. Now throwing all the gates on. Scarlett's going for a Nidus, a macro Nidus all-in. This is more like the Brood War Nidus. Make sure to check out my Brood War cast lately. Where it's more used just for reinforcement, as opposed to Surprise Nidus! It is the even speedier version. It's Warp Gate for Zerg with unlimited supply. Oh, it's Swarm Host. That makes more sense. I thought it might just be the Roach Rally Nidus. But no. The thing is that Swarm Host will give Mcanning a lot more opportunity to potentially shut this down. The queens are in the Nidus, though. You know what? This might still be the macro reinforcement. Oh, how fortuitous.
Hello there.
Charge it! Charge it up! Charge it up! Charge the Void Ray! Mcanning! Mcanning, charge the Void Ray! Oh my god! Oh, scripted. Oh my god. Okay. Well, you can't just get the whole tech tree! What are you doing? You can't just go Templar charge +1 and a fleet beacon at the same time! You can't do that!
Who does that?
No, dun 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 dun. Actually, the barrier does pretty well, but not against everyone else. Great force field, incredible recall, no targeting. Oh, the immortal dies at the last second. Another wave of Locust. Stasis gonna be used. Targeting probes, probably the best choice. Still looking for more. Oracle shot down. Brunda and her crew are here. A mothership is on the way. Mothership called in early to save the day. She is a long way off, though. Brunda and her knitting crew versus the mothership. Oh, those zealots trapped in a prison of locusts. A single charge lot going at any drones trying to transfer. A little bit coming back. The locusts walled off. It's weird. The timer actually runs out in stasis, which is pretty depressing. Mothership halfway done. I can't believe we're relying on a mothership. Mcanning, most players would be like, how many gates do I need? Mcanning's like, how quick can I get a mothership out? 2 different types of players. Locust heading towards the natural. Zealots sacrificed. Entaro natural. Meanwhile, more coming down. Good storm. Great force fields. Locust over the top. Another storm softens them up. Down goes an Archon. Another merges. Shield battery overcharge. Roaches and Ravagers breaking through the gateways. Behind most of the Locusts are on cooldown. Mothership 3 seconds away. And by 3, I mean like 12. It takes forever. But wait, is there detection? There's one Overseer. Oh, who is that? The Mothership's here! Finally! Your time is up! My time is now! You can't see me without detection! Target the Overseer, Mcanning! Make your dreams no longer memes! And Archon almost stays alive! Oh, down goes the Overseer! There's no detection! There's no Overseers! You can't see me now, says Mcanning! What a save!
What a save!
There's nothing! Scarlett can't see the units in the cloaking field. She has to retreat. Now the pressure is taken off. You can't just go carriers. He goes carriers, but Scarlett strikes back. The escape Nidus, but Chargelots find a base. Warp Prism gets into the main. Hive is done, but there's not nearly enough time for Hive Tech. Mcanning the Mothership and his ragtag band of Protoss units. Chargelot warping in the main has ruined many a Protoss game for many years. Scarlett well aware of this. There's the whole networking crew. Meanwhile, Chargelots at the 4th, at the rich Vespine base. A triple-pronged Chargelot attack opens the way for the Mothership. Mcanning working with what he has. He has a lot of great units and a lot of Chargelots, but they're all split up. Can Mcanning get real damage done here? How many Swarm Hosts are still on the table? 20 Swarm Hosts are being delivered through that Nidus, but that's a lot of supply that's not in the ground army. Oh, the Mothership! Yanked over the Hydras! Time Warp, though, used. It's not going to be enough. Mothership brought down, but so is the 4th. Warp Prism in the main. Scarlett has already lost all the drones in the main. She's down to 53. Mcanning clearing Niduses with a single carrier. The Warp Prism has dragged things back. Is there detection? Where's the Observer? Where's an Observer? Mcanning with a nice amount of probes right now, but not enough Nexi with which to use them. Mcanning the Mothership save, and the Void Ray comes in to snipe the detection in something straight out of Bronze Lake Heroes. But this is North American Dreamhack Masters. Another Mothership. A daughter ship. No, actually, it's a grandmother ship. Did you know Motherships actually work back up the matriarchal line? Fun fact. That's science. Read a Protoss. Read the Templar archives. The grandmama ship on the way. Oh my god, the changelings block carrier. Get over. Wait. Oh. Who captured who? Niduses. Those Swarm Hosts still a threat. Some Zealots about to get a bit of an unhappy encounter here. Oh, there goes the carrier. Plenty of Overseers now. Double Spire. Don't tell me it's in the main, of course. Scarlett! It's time to stop! Build it in the natural. Build it between the 3rd and the net. If I see another goddamn Spire die because it's in the corner of the main where a Warp Prism will park. We're not there yet, but like... Wait. Murder for ire! Come on, into Rotassadar! Wait, we don't say that. Who are these guys? I'm just... Their name's Billy. You know Bob? I'm big Bob. I'm big fan of Bob. Yes, we cannot hold. Oh, no, sorry. It was an accident. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, never mind. Who captured who there? You can't, just because you can see it Doesn't mean you can stop it. The Grandmama ship gets yanked in, but the storms batter back the Hydras. Locust, clear out some of the real zealots. Oh, I thought the chart. Wait, what's real? I don't understand. Are there any more Archon? Find some inspiration in life. The Locust going towards the natural again. Charge lots on the 5th. Down under 50 drones, but Scarlett has a huge army supply. 150 army. Oh, okay. 9 more drones. The army is just the good units here, and then 1 Stalker. We've got Immortals. We've got Templar. We've got a single sentry for Guardian Shield. We've got a couple carriers, and of course, a Grandmama ship. Meanwhile, the charge lots are working through. 1-1 ground is finished. What are these upgrades? No one able to get upgrades this game. I don't even know what happened. I think the Cyber Core died or got depowered. Just got repowered. Oh! Well, we can't get out of that one. You gotta be careful. The Templar floating away. Meanwhile, some roaches are over here. Just throwing that one out there. Watch out, Templar! Throwing their water balloons very angrily in the faces. Would you like me to move into your main, Templar? Water balloon throws a glass of water in his face. And that's about how much damage it does. It's mostly emotional. More charge lots warped in. I can't believe the Dark Shrine just started. Scarlett, not too much income. Neither side much income, but about even on that. Scarlett with the rich Vespine geyser has a lot more gas coming in. Oh, wow. 600 more per minute. The waves of my life for ire. Try a new line, but what? You ever had so much, Jimmy? You ever had so much storm? You storm change. Mcanning, exploring strange. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Triple prog attack. The Spire's staring at me, glaring at me. Oh, gets 1 carrier. Oh, that's a full energy mothership, grandmothership. I'm sorry, with not much. Oh, the Zealots just ransack the main. The Warp Prism's still there. There's a whole lot of interesting units. We got Swarm Host, Lurker, Corruptor, Viper against Mothership, Carrier, Templar, Immortal. But Mcanning has more cost-effective small... How many times? How many goddamn times? How many times? I remember, fun fact, I think the first time I saw Scarlett play in person was North American Star League in 2013 in Toronto. Well, Mississauga, but only people from Toronto will know the difference. And I remember there was a series where Scarlett lost her Spires in her goddamn main and lost a couple games because her Greater Spire got sniped in the corner of her main multiple times with a Warp Prism to charge lots. That was a lifetime ago. What I'm trying to say is some people never learn. If I see... Oh, there's a Spire at the 3rd. Still in a vulnerable location, but... Okay. This one was alright. Oh, alright. Well, that was annoying. Oh, no! I can't see anything! Ricky! Do you see anything? I'm a Swarm Host. What does that mean? That doesn't explain anything, Ricky! What are you saying? What is this game? Oh no! The Grandmama ship is down for the count! Carriers yanked in, abducted, knocked to the deck! 3 carriers. A great Grandmama ship is on the way. More Niduses. What an insane game, by the way. I was getting caught up in the family lineages and history of both Scarlett and the motherships, but Scarlett is now down to 3 bases with a huge and dangerous army, whereas Mcanning is actually mining pretty solidly, but with a significant... Whoa, freeze frame. And that's when I knew this game would go down in the history books. This isn't a noir film. Meanwhile, Lurker's no match for Immortals in Storm. Oh, but the Corruptors on top of the carriers, surviving the storms for now. What are these armies? A badly bruised Immortal, a few half-full carriers, a bunch of Templar with varying amounts of energy, and an Observer, which somehow is also damaged. A Nidus in the back corner has been spotted. Charizard's warped in. Is it enough before the Swarm Host pop out? No, the Swarm Host pop. Get in! Get back! Go back in the Nidus! Wait, what? Why did the Nidus gain HP? Oh, because it was finishing. Okay, I guess it regenerated that little bit at that time. Meanwhile, DT's warped in to defend. The Changeling's trying to get into the wall. Changeling groups all over the place. The Swarm Host. Whoa, down it goes! Another Nexus, but Mcanning does have the rich Vespene base mining. Scarlett, if only she had a greater Spire still, it probably wouldn't help that much, because most of the army is air. The Swarm Host Nidus, and Nidus is not that, it's 75-75, so that's mostly a strain on the gas here. But when you have 28 drones, it's a strain on everything. The minerals are starting to mine out. Locusts are technically free, but the Swarm Host not so much. Oh, what?
What a name!
Oh! Mcanning! That's one way! What a play! That's one way to save a base! Great Grandmama's home! Oh my god. Mcanning, giving the people what they want. Infestors on the way. For what? Microbial Shroud? If only Microbial Shroud worked on air. This is spotted. How many times have locusts rained down on the natural? It has never... There's actually a pretty solid amount of minerals and gas still at the net. Going for the upgrades! +3 air attack. Gone. Denied. Oh. But Mcanning has had enough. Finally decides to press the issue. Another base for Scarlett. Only so many. Mothership dragged in. Easy time warp. Not really dying that quick. The great Grandmama ship goes down, but a handful of charge lots. Mcanning still has money in the bank. He's nearly maxed. Not that much income. It's hard to tell whether Scarlett is maxed or not. But the Void Rays themselves to burn through the Corruptors. The Vipers, no Parasitic Bomb. Feedback. More Yanks. Carriers targeted. Decent Fungal. Not enough to close it out, though. More Storm. Swarm Host falling. Scarlett plummeting in supply. There's no more income. The Lurkers, they do nothing. The Templar pressing forward. And Mcanning comes out on the winning end. 2-1. A full-fledged tech tree showcase. From the lowly zealot to the great Grandmama ship. Mcanning says you can play macro Protoss. You can go for quick 3 base. You can transition out of Adept Glaives into a macro game. You can go Disruptors, and you can get your mothership. And at the end of the day, you can beat some of the best in the entire world. Congratulations to Mcanning in this match. Hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown of it. Like and subscribe, and you can enjoy more of Mcan. Thank you for watching. Good luck, and have fun.